I step, I swing, I hit my shit, better move out the way when you see me getting lit. My squad, my fam, everybody in this bitch might come by myself, but I'm leaving with sis. I step, I swing, I hit my shit, better move out the way when you see me getting lit. My squad, my fam, everybody in this bitch might come by myself, but I'm leaving with sis. Baby, she know how to drill the whip, oh. It's rockin' and I'm tryna get a grip, hey. She know I can put some diamonds on her wrist, oh. But I ain't the kind of play you can...
So let's get into it. What made you start music, your journey?
Yeah, I actually started singing with my mom when I was a kid, and so that's been like therapy. You know, it's been like a nice little way for me to just be comfortable within my own skin. I didn't start taking music seriously until my teens. Around 2015, I was writing for rappers and doing hooks and stuff like that. But around 2020, I started taking it more serious and doing my own thing. Mm-hmm. So that's what kind of got me from being comfortable to doing it to now just being like, fuck it, I want to own it.
Yeah, you were writing for rappers. Who were you writing for?
I was writing for friends around the neighborhood. You know, we all grew up in like a small little city. We all used to dance on YouTube. We used to basically like do a lot of creative shit. But my friends who were already in the studio, Dre Crees is just one to name. He took me into the studio. I started writing hooks for him, taught me how to just be in that type of zone and everything, and that's where it took off. And I was really happy about it.
So you mentioned your mom. Is she a big influence for you?
Yeah. So, you know, me spending time with her and singing with her and built a connection that influenced me and made me feel comfortable within my own skin to just have fun with it, you know? So that's what kept me going and feeling cool to just do it in front of friends, in front of family, and now on a platform. So it's cool.
What is your biggest music influences?
Life. But aside from that, so I used to study Usher a lot. As I got into high school, I was listening to The Weeknd a lot. I've had a lot of comparisons about his voice, so it's a nice compliment. But, you know, from me studying R&B singers from back then, how it's transitioned to now, how hip hop has changed as well, I think the liberty of being able to create has been able to let me be at ease and start studying people and just really take it full force. But for sure, The Weeknd was a big influence for me to just like start singing and start taking it into a craft.
What genre would you say your music is?
It's definitely R&B.
R&B.
I delve into hip hop sometimes because that's where I started, you know, writing hooks for people. But I delve into both and just take it into my own element and just, you know, just take it from there. But R&B mainly.
Was there ever a time you questioned your decision to make music or thought it wasn't for you?
Yeah, I mean, even to this day, you know, I still get doubts sometimes about what I'm doing and how I'm handling my business with music, but there's always reminders for me, you know, like I enjoy doing it. And I'd rather take a shot at something that I love to do rather than just falling into the norm and being like, I'm just not gonna chase anything. But yeah, that's been helping me, is just being like, fuck it. What else am I gonna do if I don't do something creative?
Have you performed live or have had any shows?
Yeah, I've been performing since 2012. I was doing it in high school, a little bit of like underground shows. Just recently, I started performing like back in the city of Downey. I would perform at like comedy shows too, like I would open up for people. That was cool. That was like another realm to delve into. Right now, I have a lot of shows taking place in the IE area, Inland Empire, and sometimes around here as well. Very like short pop-up performances. It's not nothing like, I'm not doing 30-minute sets. I'm just coming up for like 15 minutes and just getting those jitters out too, so.
What would you say is your biggest challenge or obstacle as a musician?
As a musician, it's not falling into like imposter syndrome. So you're trying to live up to somebody else's name rather than your own. And me having to deal with those trials and tribulations, like, you know, again, I get compared to The Weeknd. Sometimes I want to be like him, but I can't. I'm not him, I'm myself. So kind of like getting away from that path and being able to just be comfortable within my own skin and just taking it full-fledged, that's what I work towards now.
Is there a specific audience you gear your music towards?
I gear my music towards R&B crooners for sure, but I haven't nailed down my market and my dynamic only because I have so many diverse friends that listen to my music, and some of them are hip-hop heads, some of them don't even listen to music that much, some of them are just filmmakers. You know, it's all different types of aspects, right? But I would say that's been hard to nail down because I just sing for friends and family as of right now. But I'm definitely excited to see what kind of market I actually hit because that's interesting to me.
What do you want listeners to take away from your music? When they hear your songs, what kind of like emotions do you want them to feel?
That's always been a difficult question because for me, it's therapy. Because I sing to release stress, to relieve emotions, just to kind of like let let all that tension out. I guess when I want people to hear the music coming from me, I want them to feel that same feeling, just feeling relaxed. You know, this is like Sunday fucking music, you know, like you're washing dishes, you're playing it in the kitchen, you're just kicking back, listening in your car, and in whatever setting that you want to feel comfortable in within my music, that's what I want. I know that R&B has changed so much. Before it used to be, you know, a lot about love. Then you had 90s and 2000s where it was very hypersexual, but now it's just taken such a big turn to where R&B sounds like a diary now. R&B sounds like these emotions that you're trying to speak to some people now.
Yeah.
So, but for me, like I said, I want it to feel like therapy. I want it to feel like you're just kicking back and you're relaxing.
What is the biggest or most important lesson you've learned as a musician so far?
Not burning bridges with people. You know, when you come into creative work, there's always different directions that people want to take it in. And I don't think you should feel ill intent from it. When you come across these situations, things just happen. And I would say that if you've done your best to keep a bridge up and try to keep that relationship going, but it ends up falling, I would say don't dwell on it. It's all right. You still got to move on and do your own shit. And that's just with creative work, with business, with whatever you're doing. It's just life. So I would say enjoy the process. That's it.
Enjoy the process. When would you think is a good time to like burn that bridge?
Oh, I mean, if you've fucking done everything you can to feel like you've done your part, and it's easy to think that you're being petty about things or that you're just kind of like fuck it. But my rule is if I've been done maybe like 2 to 3 times, not necessarily wrong, but if I've seen a negative outcome each time, that's my point to be like, it's just not gonna work. That's it. So that's kind of my cue.
So you're a songwriter, you write your own songs.
Yes.
One song I specifically like is Be Alone.
Oh, thank you.
What inspired your songwriting on that song?
Thinking of some places we can be alone. Ooh. Thinking of some places we can be alone. We can be alone.
Yeah, that's like an accumulation of things. I've had like different emotions depict from like relationships. And so, you know, I'm 29 now, from when I was 22 to now, it's always been a difficult ride in like explaining to my romantic partners that I'm just busy as fuck with, regardless if it's with work and what I do with my hobbies. That's hard to explain to somebody else and have them understand it. It's not until they get to be in it where it's like, damn, I understand what you're saying. Maybe I don't like it, maybe I do. Be Alone is like me giving my partner reassurance, like, you know, once I do have my time to be alone with you, this is what I want to do with you, and I'd rather just kick back with you. But that's kind of like the general aspect of it.
I know personally when I go through a breakup, I'm like, oh, what song can I listen to help me process the emotions?
Yeah.
Is that how you are too?
Yes, that's with writing too. You know, like I need to release that somehow in this outlet, and that is definitely inspiring me to keep writing too. Because that's mainly what I write about is love, heartbreak, you know, just relationships in general.
Yeah.
Aside from like the chill vibe, but I just kind of mix the two together.
Okay, talk to me about your new EP, Keep It Sexy.
Yeah.
What's the creative process behind that? How'd you come up with it, the songs, everything?
The fun fact about that EP is I wrote that in a week, and it's a combination of like trials and resolutions and tribulations within like what I was dealing with prior to writing this album. So it's like maybe 2 years worth of like like heartbreaks, dealing with romantic issues, dealing with my own self-doubt and like talking to myself, because each song has something to like basically grasp afterwards. You know, how did I move on from a situation? How am I going to make the situation better? And I enjoyed the writing process because this was like the first time that it came natural. And I felt happy to actually release that and to kind of put it together within an art form and just really take it full-fledged. So Keep It Sexy is like a model for myself. That's a fun fact. They used to call me sexy in high school. I know, right? I look beautiful. And
You look amazing.
Thank you. And the meaning behind Keep It Sexy was like, if I'm going through shit, no matter how hard it is, no matter how crazy it might be, keep it smooth, keep it sexy. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I love that name, Keep It Sexy. And that was you released it in September?
Yeah, last year.
So you said it took like a week to do that whole album. Does it usually take you longer?
Yeah, I usually am very stagnant on like releasing shit. I was working with a couple artists before releasing this EP and a couple producers that basically pushed me to just start writing for myself and stop hanging on to material for so long. My last EP before this one was like 3 years ago. And that took me like months to like even a couple years to really fester together. This came out naturally within a week and I was super happy about it.
Do you ever like go through creative or writer's block?
Fuck
which
yeah.
like makes you hold on to it or not release?
Yeah, I have decided for myself if I can't stay on like a beat or I can't stay on a piece of writing forever. I need to shelf it at some point. And if I hang on to it for more than a day, like if I just don't know what to do with it, I just have to let it go and I have to start all over again.
Do you feel like you're growing every day in your music?
Yeah, I mean, in music, in my life, really, I've had so many friends and family members like support me really, and I came across platforms like you guys to where I can even talk about what's really going on. So it's allowing me to just say fuck it and just move forward.
Is there anything you can tease, like projects or drops coming soon?
Yeah. For projects, I was hoping to release something by Valentine's, but I'm probably gonna push a deadline. I'm releasing basically an album, and this is like a conjunction of my music that's been out so far. And I'm performing it not like, there's a difference between a studio track and a live track. I'm doing it with like live instrumentation. So I'm really happy about just letting that go and like just allowing people to see how I can sing.
Do you have any like fun or crazy stories from performing live?
I mean, we used to throw a bunch of flyer parties for like when I would kick it with my rapper homies, we would throw a bunch of flyer parties to do that live performances. So fucking I'm singing to people and they're playing beer pong in the back, fucking, you know, smoking weed, doing other shit. But, you know, I wouldn't say they've been like crazy. They've just been fun experiences to see that. Nowadays it's more professional. Like I'm performing at bars, it's not parties anymore. So it's a lot more centralized, I should say.
How has music changed your life overall?
I would say it's changed my life overall by always reminding me that it's my therapy. It's helped me in like very, I wouldn't say dark situations. You know, there's fucking deaths, there's family that goes away, there's friends that go away, bad things that happen to you personally within life. You know, fucking, I might blow a fucking tire right now when I leave, but that's just a bad thing for myself. But it's allowed me to just be positive. It's allowed me to even think more. It's allowed me to be more smart within myself and like understand that if I'm trying to do these goals or trying to chase these things, that I need to personally go out there and do it. Nobody's gonna do it for me. And music has allowed me to be at ease every single time that I go through these things in general. So, what's up everybody? This is Richard Luis. I'm over here kicking it with Antidote 41. About to get the show kicking up. I appreciate you guys. Peace.
I step, I swing, I hit my shit, better move out the way when you see me getting lit. My squad, my fam, everybody in this bitch might come but myself, but I'm leaving with sis.